If you're enjoying my videos, don't forget to subscribe. What up guys, this is Monkey Figure Reviews, and today we are going to unbox a figure by MEGAHOUSE. It is the One Piece Portraits of Pirates Playback Memories Miss or Sunday, or as we know her, Nico Robin. For those of you who have been following my channel for a long time, you should know by now that I am a huge fan of Robin. Naturally, I am very happy and excited for her to be finally here, and I cannot wait to take her out of the box. But before that, as usual, we are going to take a quick look at the box design. So this time I think it is actually very interesting and unique. At the back, you kind of have this black background that looks like a wallpaper, and on top of it you have this gold foil designs just surrounding it, acting like a border. And I'm not sure if this are they are references to the Alabaster theme or the Baroque Works theme. I cannot remember. So if you guys do, let me know in the comments section below. At the front we have Baroque Works written here, as well as the Jolly Roger or the logo. And here we have Miss or Sunday, which is the title of Robin when she's in it. And at the top we have the logo for Playback Memories sub-series. And we also have our silver toy sticker to prove its authenticity. To the side we have sand or the desert. So I guess that's a reference to Alabaster directly. An image of Robin. On the other side it's the same thing, more sand. Another angle of Robin, and at the back we have a full body image of the figure, so we know what we are getting. And also I think over here you have just two images to show the two poses you can do with this figure. It's nothing much, it's just with the hat on or with the hat off. And I think this image at the back, this is actually one of their promo images, and I think this is a reference to when Robin and Crocodile went underground to a cave to find the poneglyph, talking about the secret weapon Bluton. I think so. And at the top we have more designs. So I think here you can actually see it, the gold foil is absolutely beautiful over here. It looks really good in real life. Maybe you can't really tell on the video, but maybe it's just a mixture of the gold and the black that just gives off a very classy look. Alright, oh yeah, I forgot. So it's brand new and sealed. As you can see, we are going to do the unboxing together. And let's go! Alright, I have taken out the pieces of the figure, and there's a total of 3. We have Robin herself, her hat, as well as her base. So first of all, I just want to answer a few questions that some of us might have. Number 1, is it possible for Robin to stand on her own without the base? The answer is yes. I have just tried it, so I'm gonna show you guys. All you gotta do is just put her upright, and she'll be well supported by her right foot as well as the coat. It just balances off. So it's entirely possible, but of course personally I do not recommend it because it is not designed to be supported in this way. And if you guys can see, the bottom of a coat is actually not flat, so in the long run they might get deformed, which is a damage to your figure. We do not want that. Alright, number 2, I think a lot of us were actually worried about leaning problems when we first pre-ordered or purchased this figure. And for those of you who have not gotten it, maybe you have noticed by now actually, is that The way she's supported is through the quotes. So you can see there's a hole here. That's where the support of the base goes into. And the figure and the quote is actually very well integrated. It's very solid together. And I'm just going to show you guys that it is actually very, very stable. So like you can see, I'm trying to tap it and move. It doesn't really shake a lot like some of the other figures. And it is honestly well supported, so you don't really have to worry about any potential leading problems and issues in the long run. There you go, guys. This is how Robin looks like when put together, wearing her hat. She looks really, really sexy in the outfits and the pose. For now, let us take a closer look at the figure. We will start off with the head sculpt. I have also removed the heads first, so it'll be better for us to get a clearer look on the hair and the face. And talking about face, I think the details are all pretty well done. We expect nothing less from MEGAHOUSE at this price range. The eyebrows, the eyes, those are well painted on. The nose is pretty well sculpted. I think the nose bridge is very pronounced. And for the mouth, it's kind of a little bit open. And in the middle for the mouth opening, I think they just painted it black. So you can actually just, touch it. And I can't really see if any lips or lipsticks are painted on. Maybe just very, very minimal right at the edge of the mouth opening, but it's actually quite difficult to tell. Now, what I really want to focus on is actually on, facial likeness, character likeness. I mentioned a lot of times that is so important essentially to a figure, because that is your, that is like the character you're trying to capture onto a figure, right? And when I look at this Robin as an isolated figure over here, she looks totally like Robin, like she looks great and amazing. But when I took a quick glance at the rest of my Robin collection, they actually look quite different when it comes to the face. And at this point, I can't really tell what is the difference, but I suspect is number one, it is the eye shapes. So I think usually for Robin, her eyes are a little bit more round, but over here it's actually kind of flatter and sharper. I'm not sure if that's the right way to put it, but Robin's eyes are usually more round if I'm not wrong. And also her face here just seems to look a little bit too skinny. Another thing that I also want to mention is that I feel that, like I said previously, the nose bridge is quite pronounced. I think they've done it too much. It's just too much, and that little bit just throws off the likeness overall. So I'm just saying this, but I think later when I bring out the figures, it will be easier for us to look at the figures side by side and we can do the comparison. The hair is generally quite well done, so you can see the added shading over here as well. This is not natural lighting, this part is just painted lighter. So it's kind of continues one round to the other side. It's also lighter here as well. And let me just show you guys one round. And for the hair, you can see the sculpt. There's not a lot of individual strands, so it's much more bigger clusters of hair. And that's usually the style of P.O.Ps. That's well within expectations. Here is lighter as well. And here it just continues to the other side. And the motion of the hair is kind of moving towards that direction. So it kind of fits the whole movement of Robin. See, it continues all the way to here and kind of back to the fringe. And I think credits to them for adding shading to the hair, especially if people want to display, Robin without the hat. But obviously, if you do not want to put a hat on, there's an issue, which I also mentioned when the prototype came out, and that is the seam line right at the front. To me, personally, I don't really like this at all. I have no idea why they have to split the hair up into 3 pieces. It seems kind of unnecessary. I think it's just purely for this strand of hair, this one. And, and with the way that MEGAHOUSE usually does the P.O.Ps, the seam lines of the hair are very, very obvious. As you can see in front of you, it is so obvious. So I think just by looking at this is not really that nice, especially without the hat. It will be so obvious and blatant, those seam lines. And personally, I do not like it, and I cannot understand why. It was made into 3 pieces. And this is Robin's hat, so you can see the details for yourself. Some shading, generally white in color, but some parts are lighter, some parts are darker. Pretty basic details. The threads on the edge of the hat, and the inside just looks purplish like this. It's actually very similar to the hats from the first Robin P.O.P. From what I can tell, very similar. This is Robin with her hat on. She looks really good as well, decked out in the full Miss All Sunday outfit, which is probably the way I would display her. I kind of like her this way. And what I really appreciate is that in this, with her hat on in this pose, the face is not really obscured compared to the first P.O.P, in which once you put a hat on, the whole face is just totally blocked. So I'm really glad that he considered that. Well done. Alright, and now for the main body. I know what you guys are looking at, but first of all, let me draw your attention to the neck. So I kind of think that over here, this neck area, the neck structure is kind of more pronounced than your usual female character figures, if I remember correctly. Just something that I've noticed, and I kind of find it interesting. They added more details for, like the bones and the muscles. I thought that is really neat. And right below that, we have the huge chest of Robin, which is a big point of contention because a lot of people didn't really like this, myself included, because it is not staying true to the source material of how her actual boob size is back when she first appeared, and just Robin pre-time skip in general. So yeah, we kind of, most of us prefer, like staying true to the manga, the anime. Okay, maybe the anime I'm not so sure, but staying true to the manga than just pure fan service, which this is. So it's very disappointing. I myself kind of think that it would be a lot better if the boobs were smaller. And I mean, it's not like a bad point that it turns me off completely. So I guess you can say that I'm indifferent, but that is something that I hope that they could have done. Also, another thing about the boobs was that back then, when you look at a prototype, the cleavage was not as pronounced. So it's just kind of, pretty much on the surface, and it goes from one side to the other side, and that's it. So you can see that it's not really deep. And for the actual figure, they actually corrected that. So it looks better, it looks more realistic. Let me just turn it for you to see. It looks a lot better than a prototype. That you can take my word for it, or you can just look at the images yourself and compare. And other than that, of course, the top she's wearing, this vest looking thingy, it's just kind of purplish in color. Little bit of shading, some parts are darker, like here, it's black in color, and some parts is just normal purplish, reflective, glossy paints. And it's also accompanied by these bronze kind of decorations, bronze buttons. Right at the inside of the coats, you can see her left arm. There's some sort of armband that she's wearing. So those details you can also see, like right over there. Over here at the front, I've noticed another problem, and that is where the white strings are. So you can see, it's just generally whites in color, and this weird, like purplish licks of paint that is just all over the place. Very messy looking, and I have no idea why they are there. I feel that what happened was the whole thing was just painted in purple first, and then they added the white paint on afterwards, and that is not well done. So you have this issue with some parts not being covered, because it doesn't make any sense to me. If you look at it, it's just completely white, as you can see, even on the inside. So I don't see why there's a reason why the purple paint is over there. And I checked out other people's videos or pictures. It seems like it's a constant issue throughout this whole figure, and something that is I have to mention, because if you're watching this video, you're considering to buy it, it might be an issue that turns you off, especially for the price. Alright, and right below that, her tummy. You can see some, I guess, muscles, some shape. Those are really well done. And of course, her mini skirts. It has this really beautiful belt looking thingy. It looks like a jewel. It looks like jade or something, or some kind of stone. and you can see the design of it is very beautiful, really well done, as well as the gold color. The skirt's color is pretty much similar to the top, just glossy paints, purple in color. Can't really tell for the bottom if there's any shading, and generally the bottom part here is just white in color. Kind of wish that they added, they make the strands more realistic instead of having it connected as huge pieces for the most part here. And of course, at the bottom you can actually see her underwear. I think it's purple in color. And this is Robin's left hand. You can see the nails are also painted on. It's kind of a half closed hand. Same for the other hand, nails, as you can see. It's kind of like a dark pink kind of color. For the coat, the details are absolutely astounding, especially the area where I think it's supposed to be the fur, around here and here. You can actually feel the rough texture, and I guess they made it, like a very unkempt, very messy look, so it's more realistic. And some parts you can also see the added shading, like over here it's darker, certain parts is darker. Just amazing. I have no idea how they do this. Seems like a lot of work. And let me just show you guys the back with the design of the coat. So this is like metallic pieces around as well, painted with metallic paint. Certain parts we get shading too, like the elbow, the shoulders, and also towards the back over here, around the hip area. Really beautiful and amazing. And this is a butt. And back to the other side. I think her outfit, to me, is the main reason why I really want to get this figure. I don't think we have a figure of Robin in this outfit, and she looks really amazing. These are the buttons. So let me just get it focus. I'm sorry if the video is not very clear because the lighting is not very good today. It has gone worse, gone a bit cloudy. And this is the bottom. So in general, it's just, even like here, the creases, they added extra shading to just emphasize the folding of the coat over here as well. And of course, her legs over here looks pretty thick. I think they are thicker than usual, but there's no shading as far as I can tell. And all the way down till you get her boots, which has great details as well. Look at the shading, look at the fur as well as the laces. Those are really well done, fantastic work. And the base is kind of along the style that they're trying to go for nowadays, not the usual old P.O.P bases. So it says Baroque Works Miss All Sunday, and you get all this kind of design, which I think is also on the box, as well as the organization Jolly Roger / logo. The height of this figure from the bottom of the base to the top of the head, it is around 23.5 cm, so about 9.25 inches. Here I have taken out my other Robin P.O.P figures. This is Strong World. This is the first Robin P.O.P. I think it's the Neo DX. This is Sailing Again, and this is Film Z. So all 5 of them, you can tell when you look across the board, their height also kind of varies. And even though they are from like the same series, same P.O.P series, MEGAHOUSE can be quite inconsistent when it comes to capturing the height of their characters. But the main thing I want to talk about, obviously, is something that I mentioned previously: facial likeness, character likeness. And when you look across 5 figures, you can tell they're also quite different, a little bit different from each other. Maybe with the exception of this Robin P.O.P, because she's the very first one. And this is basically the old school Robin style, the old Oda style. And this is how she looks like back then. This is when she's at Skypiea. And when you compare these two pre-time skip forms, they look totally different. When it comes to the face, it's just totally different people. And I think hopefully you guys can get an idea of now what I meant previously. For me, these three, they are much similar when it comes to looks, but even when you compare the three of them with her, they also look different. So I think the main issue is really, in my opinion, it is the eyes. So it has to do with the eye shape, and perhaps also the eye size could have been a little bit bigger. And maybe if the nose bridge is not as pronounced, just have it less protruding, it will be better too. But let me know what you guys think, because I may be calling it out wrongly. Let me know if you guys can spot anything that I missed out on, something that could improve Robin's looks, or you think that she's perfect. Do let me know in the comments section below. Over here also, you can tell how ridiculous her boob size is when compared to the other four. I thought this was huge, but this got even worse. And it'll be better if it's this size or even this size, in my opinion. Here I've taken out my Glitter and Glamour's Dressrosa Robin, so you can do some height comparison. This is the same scale as your King of Artists, Master Stars piece, Flag Diamond Ship, Glitter and Brave, as well as the Masterlized figures. You can also take a look at their faces and how they compare. They look quite different. And here I have Miss All Sunday with Mr. Zero or Crocodile, and I think they really look good as well as a pair. But unfortunately for Crocodile, he's not wearing his Alabaster outfit. This is, I think, his Impel Down outfit, which is a bummer. I'm still kind of waiting for them to hopefully one day do one of him in his Alabaster outfit. He looks really badass, and Crocodile is one of my favorite characters. And maybe if that day happens, then that Crocodile will even fit better with this Robin. Alright guys, that's pretty much all I have to say for this figure. In conclusion, I really like this Robin P.O.P, even though it is very pricey and it is not without its flaws. So my main complaints are the face. Mainly I think it is the eyes. I think that could have been improved. The boobs, that should have been smaller, and also the white laces or strings on Robin's top. I think the paints bleeding issue with the purplish paints, that shouldn't be happening. And one last thing is, even though I feel that they already tried to make her skin tone darker, I personally feel that it could have been even darker, and that would look better, because that's how she first appeared, to be very, very dark when she first appeared in the story. So other than that, the coats, the details on the coats, the outfits is just absolutely amazing. I really, really like it. I like the pose. It's much more different than usual, and this outfit also is kind of unique. We don't really get a lot of figures of her in this. So would I recommend this figure? I would say if you can get it around the pre-order price, or even cheaper, maybe someone is already selling it secondhand, then I think you can go for it. It is honestly a very cool and unique Robin figure. If you are getting it like an inflated aftermarket price, maybe about 190, 200 Singapore dollars, or whatever that is in your currency, then I think it may be a little bit too much. You shouldn't be paying too much for her. So totally up to you. I mean, if money is not a problem, then sure, go for it. Alright, and let me know once again what you guys think of this figure in the comments section below. If you like my video, do give it a thumbs up. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe and also hit the bell notification button so you don't miss out on more of my reviews or figure news. Thank you guys so much. Thank you for your time. I'll see you guys again very soon. Goodbye.